he said Shedeur is accurate, but he's not as accurate as the analysts are saying. The film tells you he's not that accurate. He's accurate. Are you kidding me? That would be unbelievable as a fifth-round pick. Look what it's done to the Niners. You can stack your roster.
You know, when I look back at last season, I've got to say, one of the absolute best coaching jobs in the entire NFL wasn't by Andy Reid, wasn't by John Harbaugh, and it sure wasn't by Mike McDaniel. No, it was Kevin Stefanski with the Cleveland Browns in 2023. Think about this for a second. This man won 11 games in the toughest division in football, the AFC North, going up against Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Mike Tomlin's Steelers. While his quarterbacks were Joe Flacco, who was basically pulled out of retirement, Deshaun Watson, who fell off a cliff, PJ Walker, and a rookie in Dorian Thompson-Robinson. That's not just coaching, that's surviving chaos. That's navigating a minefield and still finding a way to the playoffs. That's what Kevin Stefanski pulled off. Now, fast forward to this season, and once again, we're right in the middle of another quarterback storm in Cleveland. And here's the news. Kevin Stefanski has announced Joe Flacco is going to start against the Rams. He's giving his starters about 25 to 30 snaps. Behind him, Dillon Gabriel as the backup, and Shedeur Sanders sitting at QB3. Now, let's pause there because I know Browns fans are sitting at home in their Shedeur Sanders jerseys, probably customized with Barry Sanders on the back, and they're fuming. I know, because I've been saying it too. Shedeur Sanders was underdrafted. I said it during the draft, and I'll say it again. The kid should have gone higher, but the league told you what they thought. 4 full rounds went by before Shedeur's name got called. That matters, and here's where Stefanski comes in. This guy is Ivy League smart, Penn graduate, one of only 2 Ivy League head coaches in the league, and I'll be honest, he knows more about offense than I do, more than you do, and probably more than half the internet combined. This man just won 11 games last year with musical chairs at quarterback. So when he says Dillon Gabriel is QB2 and Shedeur is QB3, I've got to at least respect that decision, even if I don't agree with it emotionally. And let me tell you, I know how this goes. Every single time something happens in sports, suddenly everyone's an expert. During the pandemic, everybody was an epidemiologist. Right now in Cleveland, everybody's a quarterback coach. But here's the reality. Stefanski and his staff see Shedeur every single day in practice. They see the tape. They know how he fits their system. And guess what? Greg Cosell, one of the most respected film analysts in football, came on recently and broke it down. Dillon Gabriel fits Stefanski's system cleaner. He's got that rhythmic, quick trigger style, kind of like Tua Tagovailoa. Shedeur? He's different. He drifts in the pocket, sometimes retreats under pressure. It's all on tape, and in an offense like Stefanski's, that's a red flag. Now, don't twist this into the Browns don't want Shedeur to succeed. That's ridiculous. If Shedeur Sanders, a 5th round pick, turned into the starting quarterback of this team, that would be a dream scenario. Think about it. That would free them from the disastrous Deshaun Watson contract. That would let them build a roster even stronger around a cheap, productive QB. Trust me, the Browns have everything to gain if Shedeur breaks through. They're not burying him. They're just saying right now Dillon Gabriel gives them a steadier hand. And yet, I still can't shake this. I watched Shedeur at Colorado. He stood tall behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football. He had no run game, and he still put up insane production. He's got the size, 6'1" Tua. He's mobile enough, and he's accurate. That matters in today's NFL. And that's why I keep telling myself, maybe the Browns are wrong here. Maybe the league is wrong here. Because listen, we've seen this movie before. Remember Philadelphia with Carson Wentz? Gave him a massive deal, then moved on quick. Sean McVay loved Jared Goff until he didn't. Great organizations aren't afraid to admit when they're wrong. But you know who is afraid to admit they're wrong? Fans, internet trolls, people who cling to their takes like it's their identity. Me, I'm willing to admit when I miss. And maybe, just maybe, I overvalued Shedeur Sanders coming into this draft. But here's the thing that keeps me hooked. Every single time Shedeur steps on the field, he flashes something. That touch, that poise, that playmaking instinct you just can't coach. It's why I believe his story in Cleveland isn't finished. Right now, yeah, he's QB3. But the NFL season is a war of attrition. Quarterbacks get hurt, depth charts change, and if Shedeur gets his chance, he's got the tools to flip this entire narrative on its head. So for now, the Browns are rolling with Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel right behind him, and Shedeur Sanders sitting third. But let me tell you, it's only August. The story of Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland is just beginning, and if history has taught us anything, sometimes the most dangerous player on the roster isn't the starter. It's the guy waiting for his shot. The season kicks off, and the Browns hit a rough patch. My gut tells me we're looking at a 0-4 start, maybe 1-3 if we get lucky, and that's when Jimmy Haslam makes his move. I can picture it vividly. Sunday, October 5th. Haslam walks into the building, eyes steely, and says, "I want Shedeur to play against Minnesota." No hesitation, no discussion. But the coaching staff? They're gonna push back. "Boss, we're in London. Let's not throw him into the deep end overseas. Give us a week." They're protecting the kid, trying to manage the transition. But the truth? Flacco loses that game. And mark my words, by Sunday, October 12th, Shedeur Sanders is stepping onto that field. I'm calling it now. Now, here's why this is so critical. Shedeur isn't just another quarterback on the roster. He's the guy, the one that makes you sit up and pay attention. The one who actually makes you think, maybe, just maybe, the Browns finally have something real. And this isn't speculation. The ownership group is all in. Sources tell me Haslam and his team have made it clear they want Shedeur Sanders the starter. Colin Cowherd even said it. Sanders has quickly emerged as the front runner for QB1. And this isn't some casual suggestion. Ownership is pushing hard. They're telling the coaches he starts week 1. Let's put this in context. Haslam has a history. He backed Manziel. He was a driving force behind the Deshaun Watson acquisition. He supported Baker Mayfield. He likes quarterbacks who make headlines. Shedeur Sanders, he's a headline. Dylan Gabriel, not even close. This is about more than just football. This is about energy, buzz, and putting Cleveland back on the national radar. GM Andrew Berry made it perfectly clear. Shedeur wasn't drafted to ride the bench. He was drafted to compete. He has the skills. Accuracy, composure, football IQ, and the college production to back it up. But the thing that makes him stand out? His mindset. From day one of OTAs, Shedeur has been turning heads. Calm under pressure, accurate, decisive. Coaches are noticing. Leaders in the locker room are noticing. The kid has that rare combination of talent and maturity. And the more I hear, the more I realize how extraordinary this is. 5th round picks almost never get this kind of opportunity. They're usually developmental projects. Shedeur? He's rewriting the script. From day one, he's commanded attention. He's turned practice into a statement. Every rep, every throw, every read on the field is another declaration. I belong here. Coaches with decades of experience are shaking their heads. How is this kid climbing the depth chart this fast? They ask. Because the answer is simple. He can play. He understands the game. He earns the respect of his teammates. And in the locker room, he's emerging as a leader without even trying. Just by being himself, calm, focused, and confident. And the fans, man, the city is buzzing. From the youngest fans to diehard veterans, everyone wants to see Shedeur on the field. You can feel it in the air. And the energy in Cleveland is electric. This isn't just excitement, it's anticipation. And Shedeur is handling it like a pro. No complaining about reps, no sulking. He takes every challenge, every setback, every criticism, and converts it into fuel. And slowly but surely, he's climbing the depth chart, steadily moving closer to the starting role. Now, let's talk draft drama because it adds another layer to this story. Remember the Giants tape leak? They tried to paint Shedeur as unprepared, like he bombed interviews, like he wasn't ready for the NFL. Critics went wild, claiming he was all hype, no substance. But the thing is, Shedeur didn't flinch, not even a little. He stayed focused, kept grinding, and turned every challenge into a stepping stone. The Giants thought they were burying him, but instead they launched him into the national spotlight. Analysts, fans, insiders, everyone is talking about him. The kid went from underdog to headline act practically overnight. And here's what really sets him apart: the locker room respect. Denzel Ward has openly said he looks different from every other quarterback on the roster. Coaches are genuinely impressed. How does a fourth-string rookie go from afterthought to starter contender in a matter of weeks? Because the kid can play. He can throw. He makes smart decisions. He's unflappable. On the chemistry with his teammates, electric. He's not just competing, he's leading, inspiring, and changing the conversation around the team. Every day the story builds. Will Kevin Stefanski stick to his plan, or will ownership push Shedeur into the starting role? The suspense is real. Every throw, every read, every practice is under the microscope. The stakes keep climbing. And the broader narrative, this isn't just about football anymore. This is about resilience, about talent meeting opportunity, about a young man overcoming skepticism, criticism, and the shadow of expectation to rise to the occasion. Every attempt to drag him down just fuels his story. Every challenge is another chance to prove himself. Shedeur Sanders is more than a draft pick. He's a symbol, a young underdog rising through adversity, showing the world what talent, focus, and perseverance can do. The Browns may have stumbled upon a franchise-changing talent, and the city, the fans, and the team are all rallying behind him. The Shedeur Sanders era is just beginning, and the story is only getting more compelling by the day. So here's the question I leave you with. Are you ready to watch this unfold? Because if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching the practices, following the insiders, listening to the tape, there's no denying it. The kid is special, and he's just getting started.